Welcome back. Looking out here in the Corning sky cam, Crystal City still feeling some of that humidity here tonight, as is most of us, with dew points in the upper 60s. Quite a warm day today. We had temperatures getting up into the mid 90s all around the Twin Tiers. And in fact, we set a new record high, 95 degrees set. And this is from measurement at the Elmira Corning Regional Airport. Breaks the record of 94 we set back just 12 years ago in 2013. And we're going to be feeling the heat headed into tomorrow as well. A heat advisory remains in effect here until 8 o'clock in the evening on Wednesday. So we got 2 more days of this heat advisory, but Tuesday is going to be noticeably more hot than Wednesday. Temperatures right now remain in those low 70s or upper 70s depending on where you're at. You have 73 in Canisteo, but 71 in Elmira. Northern Tier has a little bit more heat. Tioga and Mansfield at 79, 75 for Ridgebury and Towanda. A bit on the cooler side in Ithaca here this evening at 70. But temperatures are going to stay in the 80s even after Tuesday. Expect things to stay upper 80s on Wednesday, down to 83 Friday, but then a rebound starts to come back into play by the time we get to the weekend. Could be back in the upper 80s as soon as next Monday. But overall, not too much happening on the radar. Mainly just a few light clouds have made their way in. And overall, you might see just a few wispy clouds making their way across the sky tonight. Otherwise, not too eventful on the satellite this evening. Sunshine really takes hold tomorrow, just absolutely rocketing the temperature up through the 80s, middle of the morning, 90s by the time we get to around noon, mid 90s later on in the day. Here's what we're looking at in terms of feels like temperatures once again topping out above 100 for some, right on 100, right on the dot for some. Heading into the late afternoon on Tuesday, fairly similar conditions to what we had today, except you can take down the temperature, at least it feels like temperature, by a few degrees, but then again, still fairly dangerous 100 pluses in several parts of the area. Noticeably different as we head into Wednesday. It's looking like the heat index is going to calm down with temperatures heading back down closer to 90. Still very hot. Certainly don't want to take that any lightly here by the time we get to Thursday morning. Similarly to more or less not necessarily average mornings, but much closer to average. Humidity will still remain in that sticky range, 65 to 70. Dew points just going to have a field day here over the next couple of days, but we'll finally see some relief on the evenings Wednesday and Thursday. Well, we can look ahead, just see plenty of light showers will make their way through on Wednesday. We'll finally start to see some flare up here coming into the afternoon and evening hours. Northern Tier looking like they could get a little bit more based on current modeling, but as of right now, we are under a marginal risk, but mainly that is southern portions and central portions of our viewing area. This is for Wednesday after the heat makes its way out. Forecast high of 95 also hit 95, and it was a record high today. And that was from the Elmira Corning Regional Airport. Similar conditions expected as we head into tomorrow. But temperatures only expected to get down to 71 tonight. We're close to that here this evening, but expect to remain fairly humid here this evening. Not too much relief at all as we head into these next couple of days. 88 on Wednesday with some thunderstorms, and the stormy pattern continues Thursday through Saturday. The rain could return, sticking around, but in smaller quantities for Sunday and Monday. But you can see there, temperatures remain in the 80s. Now, as we look ahead, mainly just for the other side of the weather spectrum, what's the coldest temperature that we ever had in June? We set a record high. This was a record low, and if you said 31 degrees, you were right. It was set back 2001, June 1st. It was just 31 degrees. That's the coldest June temperature recorded at the airport.